Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. Female voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Ladies in Red. I hope you have all had a lovely Saturday so far. I don't know how I feel about this show, to be fair. Obviously, Man City tomorrow, Manchester derby. I thought I had to do a preview for that one. Obviously, a massive game. And yeah, obviously, there's a derby, a very big derby coming up very shortly. And Manchester United women are playing against Villa as well. So I thought this would be a really good time just to do a sharp preview for that Manchester derby tomorrow. And yeah, have a nice little Saturday morning show to start off the weekend. So I hope that you're all doing wonderfully well. In terms of the game tomorrow, Ten Hag obviously has said that we approach every game as though we want to win. And he said tomorrow is no different. And I like hearing that personally. But we have to think this is Manchester City that we're playing against. This is a different animal in terms of Haaland, De Bruyne. And we have to be very resolute defensively. So I don't see any changes at the back, if I'm honest. I think De Gea will stay in goal. I still see Delo, Varane, Martinez and Malacia being our back four because they have been so good this season, really, so far. So, yeah, I think them four at the back with De Gea behind them, I think that will stay the same. In terms of the midfield, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter predicting that they think that Casemiro could be coming into this team. I don't think so just yet. And I know a lot of people don't like me to say this, but I think McTominay, to be fair to him, has earned his place and he doesn't deserve to be dropped at the moment. So, yeah, I think my midfield will probably be McTominay, Eriksen, and then Bruno Fernandes just ahead. And then a front three, I can't see Ronaldo starting. To be honest, Martial obviously has been in training, and again, I don't think he will start in this one. Rashford's just got Player of the Month. So I think he'll actually go Anthony, Rashford, and then Sancho on the left. That would be, and I think with the plan of counter-attacking. Obviously, City are going to have most of the ball. We know that will happen, and it's about us being clinical and taking our chances. And I think it will be a case of us trying to make those interceptions and just break quickly, which is why I think he will go for those three up top. Ronaldo and Martial possibly coming on, obviously, later in the game. But that's what I believe Ten Hag will start. And obviously, get in the chat and let me know as well what you guys would start with and what you think will happen. Aikman says, Man City are a different gravy. Yes, we beat Liverpool and Arsenal, but we've got to step it up if we want a chance of result against them. Yeah, and we will have to have an element of luck. I know I always say that, but it's true. Like, I think we do need VAR to be on our side because we are going to have less of the ball. We have got to be clinical and take our chances. And at the back as well, we've got to try and keep the likes of Haaland and De Bruyne. And let's not mention all the others they've got. They've got Foden, Mahrez, Gundogan. There's so many quality players on that pitch. And I think in terms of Haaland, the question at the moment is, and every team that's come up against him has thought, how do we keep him quiet? And I think the biggest thing for me is cutting out that supply line. So De Bruyne, we know how influential he is for City. We know how he can hurt us, not just with goals, but also with his assist for Haaland. And I think that midfield battle is going to be crucial tomorrow. And I do think that's why the likes of McTominay will be put in there just to give a bit of bite in that midfield. Casemiro, love him. But has he done enough really to replace McTominay since he's come into the club? Probably not just now. Long run, of course, you expect him to be the starter, but I think McTominay will start in this one. Hello to Ravi. I hope you are doing well. And like I say, guys, get your team predictions in the chat as well, and I will go through them and I'll read them out. Always interested to hear your thoughts. Of course, there is a derby going on today, North London derby, which is one, to be fair, that I always enjoy watching. I always think it's entertaining. I saw Saeed tweet the other day saying which one's the bigger derby, the Manchester derby or the North London derby. And I do think you have to be honest and say the North London derby, like there is something about it. And I'm looking forward to that early kickoff. Ideally for me, I'd like Spurs to win, just because I don't really like Arsenal. But Arsenal, to be fair, I think are doing very good this season as well. They're at home, so you'd say they've probably got a slight advantage. But both teams lining up very strongly in that one. And I don't quite know which way to predict. It's one of them. It could be a draw. But I expect to see some goals at least. I think the only way to stop Haaland is to stop De Bruyne first. Exactly, we need to cut out that supply line. But let's not be stupid. There's plenty of players who could provide for Haaland, not just De Bruyne, but De Bruyne is the catalyst for City, and he's the main one. And that's why, like I say, for me, we should be pinning someone on him and trying to cut out that supply. We have to exploit their right-hand side. I think if we can use pace to get him beyond, we can trouble them because their defence has been leaking goals recently. And that's why I said I think I'd go for Rashford playing as kind of like a false nine, Sancho and Anthony on either side, because I feel like pace is a big thing on that counter-attack. I do think we can cause City problems. I really do. And I do think we'll score. The other end is what I'm worried about, keeping them out, really. But for us, we won't get many chances. It's about just being clinical when we do get them. But I do think so far this season, to be fair, we have done that. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep that up on that counter attack, looking dangerous on the break, and then hopefully put him on away. That would be nice. Question is, does Casemiro start or come on as a sub? I don't think he'll start. I don't think McTominay deserves to be dropped. Eriksen obviously has been phenomenal as well, and Bruno, to be fair, has been much better. So no, I don't think Casemiro will start just yet. I think his time will come. I just don't think yet he's done enough to budge McTominay really in that role. Ravi, obviously, let me know what you think, and anyone else in the chat as well regarding Casemiro. I think we can hurt that defence, says Lawbreaker. I do. I genuinely think we can get at them. I really do. Rashford getting player of the month, hopefully that gives him a boost of confidence as well, because he definitely should be feeling I can get at that back four and I can cause them problems as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm confident going into it, but I also am confident that we can cause them problems. I think obviously it always depends what United turns up on the day, doesn't it? But I do think if we do turn up, we can definitely be a match for City. And like I say, we're not going to get many chances. It's about us being clinical, isn't it? And it's about us being switched on at the back, because any individual errors, they will pounce on that. They will hurt you for any mistakes, City. We cannot be complacent to the back at all. We have to be careful against the best team in Europe. Yep, 100%. Slipping Rashford through would be key, because pace defenders compared to Rashford, although we have to be very creative and we have to win the midfield battle. Eriksen and Bruno especially. Spot on. I agree that midfield battle tomorrow is going to be crucial. And thank you, De Gea. That's so kind. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. I hope you are doing well, De Gea. And Lucky Singh says, I'm a big fan of Jack Grealish. He gets goals. Well, it's tomorrow, Lucky Singh. But I read some rumours that Grealish apparently has told teammates that he's not going to be at City for much longer. He's not going to be there for long. Doesn't feel like he fits in. Question for the chat is, would you take him at United? Even though after obviously signing Anthony and whatnot, do you think Grealish is someone that you'd still like at United? But I like Jack Grealish, but at City so far, it just hasn't quite worked out for him, has it? But I'm a big Grealish fan. As a person as well, I just think he seems funny. But yeah, just at City at the moment, it's almost like he's trying to overdo it a bit. He's trying to overcomplicate it. So yeah, it's not quite suiting him at the moment, is it? I was baffled really when they paid that money for him as well. I was gutted because obviously he'd been linked with us quite a lot. But I do think he'd stand out more in our system than in Man City's right now. But yeah, I am a fan of him, and you do almost feel like it's going to click at some point for him. For England, Lucky Singh said most important player for England, and yet he doesn't start week in, week out, which is baffling, is it, under Southgate? But yeah, I do think, like I said, it's not just De Bruyne and Haaland. They've got plenty of quality players that we need to be keeping an eye on, 100%. And tomorrow's going to be a tough game. Then in terms of score predictions for tomorrow's derby, and we'll do a prediction for the North London derby in a second as well, but for the Manchester derby tomorrow, I think I'm going to say, I said it the other day, didn't I, when I was cocky, and I said 2-1 to United. I just felt like we could surprise a few teams tomorrow and surprise a few people. But it all dependent on what United turn up, and that's me just going with my heart really more so than my head. I don't like betting against United, and you know what, I'm just hoping that we can have a surprise performance tomorrow and shut a few people up really. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 United, but I'm not confident with that. But I'm going to go for it because I like to feel optimistic and I like to root for my team. But like I say, we could lose 10-0. Who knows? Hopefully we don't, but it could be any score, couldn't it? It just depends on how. And I think the important thing as well is starting the game well. I think if we start the game sloppily, concede an early goal, it could be any score, couldn't it? Whereas if we hold them off, the longer we hold City off, you feel the more confidence we get. And yeah, I think that's really where we should be with it. We need to be patient. We need to kind of stay in the game, and then towards the end go for it a bit more. But I hope we don't concede early, because I do think that is worrying signs, isn't it? And bouncing back from that at City is going to be interesting. There's certain players, obviously Maguire's been, as always, talked about a lot this week on social media about his form. Ten Hag has come out and defended him, saying that he believes he'll bounce back. It does seem to be like everything is just going wrong for Maguire at the moment. I was playing FIFA 23 the other day, I tried selling him and it glitched my whole game. You probably saw that stream. He's even breaking me FIFA 23. So no, at the moment I do feel for Maguire a bit. It seems like nothing he touches is going right. And I'm hoping that he can bounce back. I think him being injured for this game, he wouldn't have been in contention anyway, you'd have thought, following his form. But yeah, maybe a bit of a spell out for Maguire in terms of getting his head right will be good for him, because he just doesn't seem at the right place at the moment. And I hope he can bounce back, but it is seeming more and more unlikely. It's seeming like he's getting closer and closer to that exit door for me, because of the way that the fans seem to turn on him and stuff as well. And like I say, it's affecting his England form, and that's not good for him going into a World Cup. So it'd be interesting to watch that situation very closely. Luke Shaw played really, really well, I thought, for England in the week. Obviously got a goal as well. But I still don't think he's going to replace Malacia because that back four's been solid. But I have read some comments from Luke Shaw where he said, look, he understood that the start of the season on his behalf wasn't good enough, and he fully accepts the fact that he isn't starting at the moment for United because he realises that he hasn't been good enough. And if it is true that he said that, then I think fair play, that's the attitude. It's more about how he gets back into it. And playing like he did in midweek for England and taking his chances when he comes on or when he's given a rotation in Europa or whatever, that's what he needs to do now, especially with the World Cup coming up. He needs to try and continue that form and try and break back in. Because Luke Shaw on his day, I do think he could be one of the best left backs around. I really do. But for whatever reason, he just hasn't been consistent for United, and he's been very, very poor at times, which is even more frustrating when you know the potential that he has got. Lucky Singh says Maguire will have to improve for the World Cup 100%. Of course he will. Of course he will. And he will be well aware of that. And another player, obviously, who's been having a lot of stick this week from Portugal fans as well is Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of United fans, obviously, are saying he's done. It's so annoying because I want to sit here and defend Ronaldo and say, you know what, look, he will come good because you're so used to him doing that. Whenever he's had a dip of form, he always bounces back. He always has that wow moment. Maybe tomorrow could be that wow moment for him in the City derby. I mean, that would be typical Ronaldo, wouldn't it? But I just think with him at the moment, and it's a weird to say that, but it seems like confidence is down with him. Again, a bit like Maguire, nothing he touches seems to be going right. He was pinging off him left, right and centre. His head seems down. I'm just hoping that he can get a goal and kind of boost him a little bit because we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo here, one of the best in the world. I don't want to write him off because I think in the past that's happened so often and it's proven people wrong. But we have to take into account he is human. He's getting older. He's not the same Ronaldo as he once was. And I guess it's more of a case of what can we get out of him now for this remainder of his spell at United. And it hurts to say that, doesn't it? But Martial being fit definitely fills me with a bit more reassurance because Martial under Ten Hag, I think, could be a different animal. I think he proved that pre-season and a few games this season. If Martial can be fit, I think he can be influential for us. But fitness and consistency has always been an issue. Ronaldo needs confidence and service. Okay, Sola said Maguire will gain a yard of pace and he will never be able to turn. True, his speed is a concern, okay, Solo. Lawbreak said 3-1 United. I will never say we can't beat them. Love that. Love that. And then, yeah, I know, like I say, age is obviously playing a part as well, and we have to accept that, which hurts because it's Cristiano Ronaldo and you hate the thought of the fact that he might not be playing for much longer, and that hurts, doesn't it? But I'm still hoping he has that special moment, and that comes tomorrow against Man City because how good would that feel? And how good would that do for us as well? But in terms of the London derby, Arsenal Spurs, I'd love it if Spurs could beat them today, to be honest with you. I love the fact that we beat them and they're getting all cocky thinking they were going to have an invincible season again. But I have to be honest and say I have been impressed with Arsenal this season. I do think they've looked a lot stronger and more of a unit. They've showed resilience as well. They've got a good team spirit. Spurs under Conte also have that resilience. So a lot of people believe that adding that winning mentality, it's not the same Spurs that we used to. It's going to be a tough one, you know. You know what? I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to go 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be plenty of goals. I think it'll be tight. Maybe even a red card. Let's say Xhaka. Let's put that out there. But I think it's going to be a tight game and an exciting game as well. And I'm looking forward to watching that. And at the same time, I'm going to be watching Manchester United women against Villa as well in the Conti Cup. And I look forward to seeing that. A lot of changes in that one, like Paris starting. So that should be an interesting one as well. But yeah, Saturday morning football, the early kickoff, I always love it, just settling down and watching it. And the fact that it's a big game like the North London derby after the international break, I'm excited for that. Aubameyang left Arsenal. That helps their team. Yeah, look at Jesus. You'd have to say it has helped them 100%. Come on, Spurs, says Akerman. We hope so. Akerman, we hope so, definitely. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick preview. So I gave you my lineup. I'll go through it once more as well for those who've joined a bit later. But I went for De Gea in goal, Delot right back, Varane, Martinez, Malacia left back, that resolute back four that we've been seeing. McTominay, Eriksen, Bruno as the midfield, and then Anthony, Rashford, and Sancho as the front three. Because I do think we need players who are going to be able to try and hurt them on the counter attack and on the breaks, and I think that he'll go for that. And I do think pace can be an issue for their back four. And hopefully, if we stick to the plan, if we keep our shape, and if we stay resolute, we can cause problems for Man City. Get a few goals against them would be lovely. And yeah, knock a smile off a few of their faces would be nice as well. Because like I said, they're a different gravy. They're a different animal. One of the best teams in Europe, if not the best at the moment. But wouldn't it be typical United to get some, you know what I mean? It would be typical United. Ten Hag, let's have a bit of belief in his system as well. And hopefully we can come through and get 3 points. Or even a draw, to be fair. But 3 points obviously would be lovely, wouldn't it? So yeah, guys, that's my little preview. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow after the game with Zio doing a cool down show as well. Hopefully smiling, but we shall see. Obviously, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go and get ready for the London derby now. And I hope you guys are going to have a lovely day. Enjoy the football if you are going to be watching it. And like I say, I'll be back tomorrow with Zio and the cool down, talking all things United, hopefully celebrating a win, but recapping that game against Man City. I will be live, guys, on ECL tomorrow at 12 o'clock as well. If you do come across my ECL FIFA 23 streams, second episode tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I hope to see you guys there as well. So plenty of content from me this weekend. But until the next one, guys, look after yourselves. Keep smiling. Stay positive. Come on, Spurs. Come on, United ladies as well, of course. And I'll speak to you all soon. Drop a like on the video. Hit the sub for Ladies in Red. And drop a comment afterwards. And I'll always reply to you there. Take care.